It feels only right to review Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghostlord since my initial feedback was less than stellar after my 45-minute demo while at Gamescom. And in that time, I shared that the game felt like a wave shooter. The ghosts don't really feel like ghosts at all, more like aliens, but the graphics are nice, and you do feel like a Ghostbuster thanks to the sound effects and the trapping of ghosts. Actually, battling the ghosts is similar to like a fishing game with a tension over time mechanic. However, I still came away feeling quite underwhelmed. I did also say this game would be welcomed by children or by adults wanting to play with their children, because there is zero jump scares and everything just felt more like a Men in Black movie, shooting undead piranhas, smiling heads, and puffer style fish aliens. And after playing it today, everything I experienced within those 45 minutes is spot on. This is, at least from what I've seen, aimed at children, and they are the people who are playing it, and that is absolutely perfect. That means nDreams and Sony Pictures virtual reality hit the mark. That's what they were after. But unfortunately, if you are an older Ghostbusters fan, I don't think this is the game that's going to be right for you, and it isn't right for me. But what I also have to discuss is the DLC, which costs $20. I have no idea how much DLC you would need to give someone for that kind of money, but skins should not count. $20 is what I paid for the Mario Kart 8 DLC booster pack, and do you know how much content you got for that money? You basically got an entire full game all over again. And don't forget, the initial cost of the game is $35, so what you're looking at to get everything this game has to offer is paying $55. And the game has no single player content aside from the opening tutorial. This is meant to be a fully focused online multiplayer game. Now you can play it on your own with someone with AI, but it's still a multiplayer game overall. And for that kind of money, I would have expected a full single player campaign alongside what we have here as a multiplayer campaign. And because this game is nigh on exactly what I expected, I wanted to hand this video over to the gamers and we can go through some of their reviews. But this is a very good way to look at some unbiased comments on Ghostbusters as it stands today. Whoa! I was reading these reviews, and from my experience, I can say, dang, it is what I hoped for. If you want the best experience, get a friend and go ghostbusting Ghost. It can be dark at times, but it shouldn't be a huge issue. Just don't read reviews that complain about online multiplayer being bad. The solution is just don't play online. Isn't that hard? If you sometimes don't have friends, the single player mode is not as bad as these reviews are saying. If you've got the money and no friends, it is still a good game. Having money and friends is a great game. Play online multiplayer and yap about it. Go float nicely down a cliff and land safely. VB Drankus gives it 5 stars. Aussie81 says a must-have for all Ghostbusters fans. It's an addictive co-op multiplayer game that gets you dirty from the start. Team up in groups of 4 to complete challenges and earn unlockable rewards to further customize your style. New content being added regularly adds to the personalization and gameplay. I can't wait to see what they have in store. I love this game. 5 stars from Oz81. Nin Halo 5 says so. I really don't know about this game. I'm here contemplating returning it as others are. I'm not really a multiplayer player, and when tossed into the training room, or whether Gabby called it with a bunch of kids, I just shut off the game. The game itself seems like it could be fun, but there are some things that are annoying, like the tip screens, and not every one of them you can close and they are in the way. The factory was really annoying. You try to fight a ghost and you can't even see it because of the tip screen. Price wise, it might be worth $20. I would have expected more for such an expensive game. Nin Halo 5 gives it 3 out of 5. Next up we have Big Spock, who says disappointed. I know the dev team worked very hard on this game, but I have to wonder if the person in charge is even a fan of the original Ghostbusters movies, or they tried to make something for long-time fans. After playing twice, I realised they made this game for little kids. If you like running around a boring buggy maze aimlessly, then play the missions until motion sickness kicks in. If I'm sounding salty, it's because I based my decision to buy the top model Quest 3 because of this game, refunding. However, if the devs figure out who the real target demo should have been for this game and turn things around, I will buy again. Big Spot gives it a 1 out of 5. Deathwatch806 says ignore 1 to 3 star reviews. This game is awesome. I have no clue what people are complaining about, but as a standalone Quest 2 user, I find the game to be incredible. The graphics aren't bad at all, and the gameplay is easy to get down and flows nicely. One thing I think the developers need to update for the game would for smooth turning to have a speed option. The second thing I would like to add is the ability to sprint. And the third thing is the audio in the game is a bit unbalanced. Other than those three things, this game is so much fun. But be warned, this game is an online game only. There is an offline mode, but it's not the same as playing online. After the tutorial ends, you will instantly join an open match with other players, so be aware of that beforehand so it doesn't throw you off like it did me, lol. Deathwatch806 gives it a 5 out of 5. Metaverse Josh says Mr. Mark. Game is okay but not worth the price. Misses the mark for any real genuine Ghostbusters feel, just feels like a themed kids game. This game deserved more effort. Needs a PCVR release at the very least and much more content to be worth the price tag. He gives it 2 out of 5. FL3I says this has nothing in common with Ghostbusters. This game is even worse than the trailer suggested. As a Ghostbusters fan from the beginning, I am very disappointed and I'd hoped to finally experience how it is to do the job. But what is delivered here for a lot of money is a disgrace, only so expensive because of the license costs. The equipment used has absolutely nothing in common with Ghostbusters, the comic style is ridiculous, and the missing story mode and the completely inappropriate MR mode are an indictment. Not even the sounds of the devices are real, except the PKE meter. I quit just after 30 minutes and requested a refund. FL3I gives it 1 out of 5. Iceman says bit of a letdown, but good game. Great and fun game. Don't mind the graphics, Pro on stream looks good. Missions are challenging, but nothing special. No storyline outside of the tutorial, lots of equipment upgrades. I paid for the pre-release but didn't get the skins. Only one skin actually looked like a Ghostbuster. Overall, a fun game, but not worth the upgrade at this time. He gives it 5 out of 5. Paul.358985 says absolute gem. I've played a very good 10 minutes. Or so, as I do only 10-minute tryouts on games before I decide I like them. I don't care what negative people say, I enjoyed playing this one. I felt like an actual Ghostbuster, given that I can use my gadgets. 5 out of 5. Rake 10 Pilot, super funny co-op game. Get 25% off. Google something, super funny co-op game, love it. 5 out of 5. The A. Craig L says meh. I was really excited for this game, but I'm underwhelmed. What really got to me is, I was playing the single player game just fine, then somehow got roped into a game with randos. Look, I'm a grown man, and this is how I like to spend my free time, but not with strangers and not with 9-year-olds. Nothing against them, but not what I wanted from this game. He gives it 3 out of 5. ButterVR23 says, this game is so good. I have a couple of problems not getting my pre-order items, but overall this game is amazing. Good graphics and good gameplay. He gives it 5 out of 5. Ezekiel QC says refunded. This is just basic gameplay with grinding for cash to compensate for lack of content. So disappointing. I expected so much more. Maybe in 6 months when more content or game mode. Just a couple of maps and an arena style rinse and repeat. Nope. Not in 2023, he gives it 2 out of 5. And finally, to end on a high note, Invader Samson says, it's awesome, I love it and have no words to say, it's just too good. He gives it a 5 out of 5. So to summarise, as you can see, this game is a very mixed bag. Overall, I think it is a child's game, and I think it does deliver on the premise of being a Ghostbuster to a child or an adult playing with a child. But if you are an original fan of Ghostbusters and of a certain age, I don't think this game is necessarily for you, as it isn't for me, unfortunately, at this time. There is a new film coming, and they are talking about, if you go through the developers' responses to some of these comments, that there is going to be some sort of tie-in with maybe an update to go with the new film. So I do look forward to checking this back out then, but until that happens, this game is going to be added to the uninstalled pile. Now, since this game has been out for a while, please be sure to let me and others know what you think of the game, if they should be picking this up. Remember to like and subscribe for more VR content, and I'll see you all on the next video.